In a rare and much-anticipated address to the nation, President Cyril Ramaphosa stepped into the spotlight, breaking months of silence amid mounting political and economic turbulence. The weight of the moment was palpable. With South Africans facing power outages, rising inflation, and an increasingly fractured political landscape, the stakes could not be higher. From the outset, Ramaphosa's tone conveyed urgency, a stark acknowledgment that the nation stands at a critical crossroads, and that decisive leadership is required to steer the country through turbulent waters. Ramaphosa opened his address with a grim reminder of South Africa's economic realities. Inflation continues to erode household purchasing power, unemployment rates remain unacceptably high, and the energy crisis threatens to derail the fragile recovery post-pandemic. The president's words were deliberate, signaling that no sector is immune from scrutiny. He outlined a plan to stabilize the economy, promising targeted interventions for industries hardest hit by electricity shortages and global market fluctuations. But beyond the promises, his speech carried a subtle warning: the window for decisive action is closing. We cannot afford complacency, he said, emphasizing the urgency of immediate reform in energy, infrastructure, and public service efficiency. It was a call to action, aimed not only at his ministers and bureaucrats but also at the broader ANC and coalition partners who share responsibility for governance. The address was also a direct response to South Africa's growing political instability. Ramaphosa did not shy away from acknowledging the divisions within the ANC, as well as the rising tensions among coalition parties and opposition groups. His words carried an unspoken message: the nation's fragile stability cannot survive political bickering or institutional sabotage. By stressing the importance of unity, discipline, and respect for democratic institutions, the president sent a clear signal to both allies and adversaries. South Africa, he implied, cannot continue to endure the public theatrics and internal power struggles that have dominated headlines. The speech was a subtle yet firm reminder that leadership requires accountability, and that every political actor has a role in safeguarding the country's future. One of the most notable aspects of Ramaphosa's address was his focus on coalition governance. With no party holding a decisive majority, South Africa's future hinges on collaboration, a reality the president made clear. He emphasized that successful governance depends on dialogue, compromise, and shared commitment to the nation's well-being. Yet beneath this call for cooperation was an unmistakable undertone of warning. Ramaphosa's words suggested that those unwilling to act in good faith risk destabilizing not only the coalition but the country itself. The message was urgent: survival in politics and governance requires responsibility, and failure to meet these expectations carries consequences. Perhaps the most compelling aspect of Ramaphosa's speech was his repeated acknowledgement of the crossroads facing South Africa. Every decision, from tackling corruption to reviving the economy, from energy policy to political unity, carries consequences for generations to come. His address framed the moment as a choice: either act decisively to secure a stable, prosperous future, or risk descending further into instability and decline. In closing, Ramaphosa appealed directly to the South African people, urging vigilance, patience, and unity. His message was clear: the nation's future is not predetermined. It depends on leadership, cooperation, and the collective resolve of citizens and politicians alike. This address was more than a speech, it was a wake-up call, a dramatic reminder that South Africa now stands at a critical juncture, and the choices made in the coming months will define its trajectory for years to come.